Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to my channel Ignition Time, where I try and give you fair and balanced news that will help you make decisions financially to try and rebuild from this crisis. Now I'm going to go over a few important things in this video. Number one, I'll tell you what's happening globally throughout the world. Number two, I'll help you what's happening within our country, within specific states within the country. And there was a new announcement from the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, which essentially reflects all the uncertainty that exists out there. And then I'll give you some specific information about the unemployment numbers and the jobs report that's due to come out this Thursday at 8:30 a.m. East Coast time. So the June jobs report is scheduled to be released this Thursday at 8:30 a.m. East Coast time. It's a very important jobs report and I'll be there to analyze it and report that back to you, my subscribers. Let's take a look at some important information coming out from the World Health Organization. Now, regardless of what you think about the World Health Organization, unfortunately, this pandemic is growing rapidly throughout the world, and the World Health Organization specifically said, as countries are starting to open up, that the worst is yet to come. So that's news from the World Health Organization. Let's take a look at cases within the United States. At least 124,000 individuals have died from this pandemic within the United States. Globally, the number of cases is 500,000. In the United States, over 2.5 million cases have been reported as of today, at the time I'm recording this video. And globally, the number of cases has crossed 10 million individuals. In fact, let's take a look at some specific information here and you'll start to see how the United States is doing. Take a look at this chart. It blows my mind when I take a look at a chart like this. Africa is starting to see a huge surge in the number of cases. Asia is starting to see a huge surge. You can see Asia is in blue right here. This is the Americas, parts of South America, Brazil and the other countries, and this is where we are, the United States of America. You can see we had a big surge in the first few weeks of April. Things seem to get better, but now things are starting to become worse. In fact, you see the height of this blue graph over here. That's telling you that the number of cases are actually increasing. In fact, specific states in the country, let's take a look at a chart here. You can see that the US overall is seeing a surge in the number of cases. Specific states like Florida, which by the way is an important swing state, 29 electoral votes in the state of Florida. We have Arizona, which is traditionally a red state, which is traditionally a Republican state, and Texas, the big one, traditionally a Republican state. These states are seeing a big surge in the number of cases. So the new epicenters of the virus, the new epicenters of this pandemic are Florida, Arizona, South Carolina, Nevada, and Texas. That is what is going on in the country right now. And back to this chart here, you'll see that Europe seems to have this situation under control at the moment. In fact, we can expect an announcement from the European Union that they will actually not allow travelers from the United States to travel to Europe for the foreseeable future. This has never ever happened before in the history of the world, so this is shocking news. Again, Europe seems to be doing better compared to the rest of the world. The United States is struggling right now. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible in South America. In Asia, the cases are getting worse. My personal belief is the cases in Asia are significantly higher than what is being reported, simply because they don't have the kind of testing capabilities that we do in the United States and Africa. God help them. So these are the stats internationally. Now, I will be linking to these different articles in the description below, so you can definitely check out these stats for yourself. And just recently, this just came out, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell specifically said the path to recovery is extraordinarily uncertain amidst efforts to control this pandemic. And Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is going to be giving a prepared speech on Tuesday to the House Financial Services Committee. And this is some of the information he's going to share in the speech. I'm going to highlight it right here. Output and employment remain far below their pre-pandemic levels. The path forward for the economy is extraordinarily uncertain and will depend in large part on our success in controlling the virus. A full recovery is unlikely until people are confident that it is safe to re-engage in a broad range of activities. And I've covered this in my channel, in other parts of the channel. If you don't feel safe, you're not going to go out there and work. You're probably not going to go out there and do anything. And that the same goes for me. I'm not going out, and my wife and my kids, my 75-year-old mother actually lives with us, and we consider her high risk. So pretty much we're not doing anything. We're only going out for grocery shopping. So all of us are not feeling safe. All of us are staying indoors, and that's just the way things are. Now, this is important, what Powell said. He said, the path forward will also depend on the policy actions taken at all levels of government to provide relief and to support the recovery for as long as needed. The House needs to get together with the Senate, stop arguing, stop bickering, stop running around in circles, get something going so that the president can sign it and so that it becomes law. Get CARES Act 4 going, get more stimulus checks, more stimulus updates going. And that is what the Federal Reserve Chairman is also saying. And here's another article where the extent of the state reopenings has actually been hampered because of spikes. Here are some of the hot spots in the country right now. This is what's happening across the country right now. Some states, like I mentioned, are getting impacted much worse than others. I mentioned this earlier. I mentioned that Florida, Arizona, South Carolina, Nevada, and Texas aren't doing very well, and that's putting it mildly. And speaking of unemployment numbers, speaking of the extent of the outbreak, let's take a look at this news article that just came out. Nearly half the US population is without a job, showing how far the labor recovery actually has to go. So the employment population ratio, which is an important ratio, it's a ratio that depicts the number of employed people as a percentage of the overall US population, that plunged, that went down to 52.8%, which means almost half the US population, that leaves 47.2%, are unemployed at the time I'm recording this video. Now, to get the employment to population ratio back to where it was in the past, 30 million jobs would need to be created, according to the chief economist at Deutsche Bank. Now, like I mentioned at the start of this video, this month's job report, which is a June jobs report, that's going to be released at 8:30 a.m. East Coast time this Thursday, is going to be a very important indicator of how fast we are recovering. Are we looking at a V-shaped recovery, a U-shaped recovery, or a W-shaped recovery with a second wave? It's a little too soon to tell how fast things will recover. I'm basically an optimistic kind of guy. I've talked about this in other videos. If the glass is 3/4 empty, I'm still going to say it's 1/4 full. If the glass is empty, I'm going to say, hey, there's room to fill up the whole glass. If the glass is broken, I'm going to say we have the pieces, we're going to put the pieces back together. So I am an optimist. I encourage you to hang in there, because things at some point will start to get better. Just hang in there. So let's take a look at this article. At the current moment, and this is data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, about half of the US population is jobless. So this is the employment population ratio since 1948, and this is where the ratio stands right now. According to the latest statistics from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, 52.8% of the population is employed, 47.2% of the population is not working. In other words, almost half of all individuals in the country are unemployed. And like I mentioned in another video, we've seen a big surge in the number of cases over the past couple of days, and some states have been really badly impacted. Some states have had to walk back their reopening plans because of the surge in cases in those specific states. Texas is one of them. Florida also is seeing a surge in the number of cases. Again, the June jobs report comes out on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. East Coast time. I'll be up bright and early to check out those numbers and to report them to my audience. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get further updates from me about new information, balanced news that impacts the economy, that impacts you financially, please click like below. Please click subscribe and enable notifications so I can give you instant updates. Thank you so much. If you want to learn more about me and who I am, check out the introduction video on my channel. That's youtube.com/ignition time. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and how I was able to build a successful financial future for myself. So here's that video. You can definitely check it out. I will link to it in the description below. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. I believe the American dream is alive and well. I believe I am proof of American exceptionalism. I am the American success story, and my goal is to pay it forward and share my insight, share all my struggles, share all my lessons with you so you can achieve your American dream. You can realize that American exceptionalism does exist, and it is only at times like these, it is only at our most difficult times, it is only at the most challenging times, it is only at the precipice that we change, and I'm here to help you. Please click like below, please click subscribe, and also please enable the notifications button so you get instant updates from me about future important videos like this that have the potential to take you to the next level financially. Like I said, I've been able to achieve success in my life primarily because I believed in the power of what our economy has to offer. And I know we are all in a very difficult situation, but there is hope, and I'm confident that I can lead the way and help you get to the next level. Fundamentally, and you can see my belief on the screen here, I do believe that the system is rigged. I do believe that our system is rigged in favor of the big banks, in favor of the big companies, in favor of employers, in favor of big corporations. And instead of complaining about the system, fighting about the system, claiming that there are some conspiracy theories out there, I will teach you how to understand the system with facts, with data, and with balanced news. I'm not going to take any sides. I will teach you how to understand the system, and I will teach you how to embrace the system, how to leverage the system in your favor, and how to reach success without complaining about the system. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please click like below, please click subscribe, and please enable notifications so you get instant updates from me about future breaking news alerts and important stories that affect your financial health. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless.